California's economy is a paradox. On one hand, the state is experiencing a mass exodus of residents, rising housing costs, and economic instability. On the other hand, it remains a global economic powerhouse with a GDP larger than many countries and a leading role in sectors like technology, entertainment, and agriculture. So, is California really facing a crisis, or is its economy simply undergoing a complex transformation? To start with the basics, if California were its own country, it would have the fifth largest economy in the world, ranking just behind Germany and India. The state consistently generates wealth per person that exceeds almost every other place on Earth. With the tech-heavy Silicon Valley, the entertainment juggernaut of Hollywood, and its agriculture powerhouse, California has long been a global leader in both innovation and wealth creation. These facts alone do not suggest an economy on the brink of collapse. However, underneath the surface, things are far more complicated. At the heart of California's success is the concept of industrial clustering. This is the phenomenon where companies, workers, and investors concentrate in a specific region, creating an ecosystem that supports business growth and innovation. Silicon Valley's rise to the global tech capital is the perfect example of this. Entrepreneurs, engineers, and venture capitalists converge in one area, allowing startups to thrive and established companies to constantly innovate. It's an environment where ideas flow freely and collaboration happens naturally. This clustering effect isn't exclusive to Silicon Valley. Hollywood operates on a similar principle. It's not just about the infrastructure or the physical spaces, it's about the relationships and networks formed when people with the same skills and ambitions come together. The result is an economic ecosystem that thrives on proximity and collaboration. However, this clustering effect can work against California as well. When key players in these industries begin to leave, it can set off a chain reaction. This has been happening in California in recent years. The state has seen a growing trend of people leaving for more affordable places. While migration in and out of states is typical, the issue here is that those leaving are often the very people who have driven California's economic success: high-income workers, tech professionals, and entrepreneurs. The reason for this outmigration? Housing. California's housing costs are among the highest in the nation, and even high-income professionals are struggling to keep up. Many are forced to spend 60–70% of their income just on rent, leaving little room for savings or wealth building. This affordability crisis is creating a fractured society where only the ultra-wealthy and those at the lower end of the income spectrum can afford to live in the state. Teachers, nurses, firefighters, and service workers, the people who make communities run, are being pushed out. This housing issue has profound implications for the state's economy. If only the top earners and the bottom earners can afford to live in California, it creates a class divide that erodes the middle class, which is crucial to a balanced economy. California's tax system only compounds this issue. The state's progressive tax structure means that higher earners pay a larger portion of the taxes. In good times, when the tech industry is booming, this system works well. But when economic downturns hit, or when high earners decide to leave for places with lower taxes, the state's budget takes a hit. This creates an unstable tax base, making the state vulnerable to economic fluctuations. The COVID-19 pandemic was a turning point in this dynamic. Professionals who once needed to be physically present in California's tech and entertainment industries realized they could work remotely from places like Austin, Denver, or Miami, places where living costs are much lower and taxes are more favorable. The flexibility of remote work made leaving California an economically rational decision for many, revealing a fundamental flaw in the state's economy: a reliance on high-income workers who no longer need to be in California to do their jobs. This situation highlights a larger shift in California's economy. Unlike traditional industries, where proximity to resources or markets is critical, much of California's modern economy, particularly in tech, is location-independent. Software engineers, venture capitalists, and creative professionals can now work from virtually anywhere. But while the digital age has made physical proximity less important, it hasn't eliminated the benefits of being in a concentrated, thriving ecosystem. Silicon Valley's network of investors, engineers, and entrepreneurs is not easily replicated online. Many industry professionals still value the face-to-face interactions that spark new ideas and deal-making. However, rising costs and environmental factors are pushing even the most innovative professionals to reconsider whether the California premium is worth it. The state's environmental challenges, especially the increasing severity of its wildfire season, add urgency to this question. Wildfires have become more frequent, intense, and destructive, creating an unpredictable living environment. Businesses are forced to shut down when smoke fills the air, and entire neighborhoods must evacuate regularly. Insurance companies are pulling out of fire-prone areas, making it increasingly difficult for residents to secure coverage. The risks associated with living and doing business in California are becoming harder to ignore. The insurance crisis is particularly troubling. As companies refuse to cover homes in high-risk areas, or as coverage becomes prohibitively expensive, it creates a ripple effect. People can't sell their properties, mortgage lenders can't issue loans, and property values fall. The housing market becomes destabilized, deepening the affordability crisis and exacerbating inequality. In turn, this creates economic uncertainty in other sectors, as the real estate market is tightly interconnected with many industries. The agricultural sector, which is a cornerstone of California's economy, faces similar environmental challenges. California produces a wide variety of high-value crops, including almonds, grapes, and strawberries. But these crops are increasingly threatened by water scarcity, extreme temperatures, and changing weather patterns. As farmers grapple with droughts and unpredictable conditions, they are being forced to adjust their practices. Some are switching to drought-resistant crops, while others are reevaluating their entire business models. These transitions will take years to implement and require significant investment in infrastructure and new techniques, posing a long-term challenge to the state's agricultural leadership. The state's political environment mirrors its economic tensions. Policy decisions on issues like environmental protection, housing, and taxation often involve competing priorities. Progressive tax policies aim to address inequality but can discourage business investment. Strict zoning regulations preserve neighborhood character but exacerbate the housing crisis. These complex issues require long-term thinking and bipartisan cooperation to solve. However, California's transient population and polarized politics often work against the necessary collaboration and compromise. Despite these challenges, predicting California's economic collapse is premature. The state retains significant advantages. Its universities are still world-class, producing talent that drives innovation. Silicon Valley continues to lead in tech, and Hollywood remains the global center of entertainment. California's agricultural sector, though threatened by climate change, continues to produce valuable crops that many regions can't replicate. California's economy is not broken. It is facing challenges that require creative solutions and significant reforms. The key to its success will lie in its ability to evolve while preserving the factors that have made it an economic leader. What do you think? Can California overcome its challenges? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into the economy.